as we said, what better way to start than with a rematch of one of the most exciting finals in basketball history anywhere in the world. We saw the highlights of that one in our pregame. Now we're going to see there's 15 players from these two teams, George, who are back tonight from a year ago, which gave them searing, indelible memories of playing against each other. Tonight, the first chance for either of them to see the other team. It's a rematch. It's the first semifinal in the Turkish Airlines Final Four. We are ready to play some basketball. We have tip-off in London. The Final Four is underway, controlled by CSKA Moscow. Milos Teodosic out top. Ball swings to Aaron Jackson and to Sonny Weems. They go posting up to Teodosic against AC Law. He swings, steps back for a short shot, misses, and Prentice with the rebound.
But not a bad shot for the first shot of the game. I think they the structured offense. They went down to the low post to Teodosic, who's capable of scoring back to the basket.
Defensive rebounding will be important for Olympiacos, but they actually have a better rebounding team than CSKA. Josh Powell with the first shot for Olympiacos. Ball loose. Sasha Count comes up with it.
Sasha Count just clears the boards. You spoke about rebounding, Frank. I agree, and both coaches said it will be a very important factor in tonight's game.
Ball in the corner to Aaron Jackson. First three-point attempt misses, but so does the rebound drop to Victor Kripa. He's the best rebounder in the Euroleague this season, but he doesn't get many easy ones like that.
Yeah, but I mean, this was all about positioning. He was in the perfect spot.
Kripa in the corner again to Jackson. Back out. He fakes. He goes. Ball is loose. There's Jackson. Shot clock down to 6. Sonny Weems with his first shot. Nothing but net for Sonny Weems.
Wow, that was a difficult shot. He was very closely guarded by Papanikolaou, but he still made a shot. What a beautiful move.
First basket of the Final Four. CSKA Moscow, Sonny Weems. Ball goes inside to Prentice. It's off the backboard and in. Last year's hero has the first basket for Olympiacos.
Frank, how easy does it look with him? It is so patented. He goes back to the basket, turns to the left-handed hook shot off the bank. 2 points for Olympiacos.
CSKA comes the other way, gets it to Weems again from deep. And another one, barely touching the net that time.
Hey, Frank, we call him Mr. Do-It-All. If he gets hot, this is going to be very difficult.
Sonny Weems, of course, one of the top scorers in the EuroLeague this season, as we see Vasilis Panoulis getting fouled by Aaron Jackson.
A good movement there on the feet by Aaron Jackson. He's extremely difficult. We said it before. His main assignment would be defense on Panoulis. Make his life as difficult as possible. You saw the three right there on the replay of Sonny Weems. Look at him. Look at the body language. He's so focused.
Confidence off the bat. Sonny Weems at 5 points early for CSKA Moscow as we come back to play with Olympiacos inbounding to Panoulis. AC Log on baseline in the corner. Papanikolaou to the
What a move right there, straight to the basket. The young Greek player just slams it home.
Both sets of fans getting into it with 2 great plays so far. Here's Kripa from deep. He knocks it down as well. Everybody's hitting shots tonight.
Frank, cold as ice. Did you see that? He did not even think about that three. He just launched it immediately after receiving the ball. What a nice shot.
Well, we heard that at Messina. Here's Panoulis trying his first three-pointer off the mark. CSKA comes the other way. But Coach Ettore Messina said cold blood. He wants cold blood from his team. There's Kripa, tries to go to the corner, stolen by Papanikolaou.
That was a very risky pass by Victor Kripa. Across the floor, you really need to be sure that you make that pass before making it.
Panoulis fakes to the basket and one! Drawing the second foul on Aaron Jackson. There's the MVP getting going.
That's his typical move. I mean, right here he sees the seam to the basket, fakes it, takes a little bit of contact from Milos Teodosic, and scores the two-pointer and is going to have a chance to shoot another free throw.
So it looks like that foul was on Milos Teodosic, so not 2 on Aaron Jackson. The first on Teodosic. But Panoulis misses the foul shot. Prentice picks him up. Prentice is getting on the boards early.
Very active, but that was a mental mistake. You cannot miss a boxing out assignment like that on a free throw.
Jackson missed 2 and slaps it down. Here comes Papanikolaou on the break. Victor Kripa knocks it out of bounds. Both teams seem to be feeling real good about themselves so far.
I think so, and immediately after the turnover, you saw Olympiacos just trying to run. That's what they spoke about, and Coach ΤΣΣΚΑ said, hey, we want to run. We want to score some easy baskets.
We've got an 8-8 tie. It's midway through the first quarter. First semifinal of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. Spanoulis for the champs of Olympiacos inside the foul. He dishes to Printezis. The running one-hander. Printezis puts Olympiacos in the run.
I cannot help it, Frank, but this is the experience of Final Four. With Printezis and Spanoulis. They are showing some very mature leadership.
It'll be Kriapa, two-pointer for him. Kriapa wings. ΤΣΣΚΑ sticking with the champs.
Two players on each side are really dominating.
Well, that will look like it's the second foul on Aaron Jackson. Of course, we said at the top he's only started 5 games this season, and he's out there precisely to defend Vasilis Spanoulis. But with his second personal foul, Aaron Jackson will take a seat on the bench. He's replaced by Zoran Erceg.
That's too quick to me, Frank. I think that Coach Ettore Messina was hoping for longer minutes and defense on Spanoulis from Aaron Jackson.
Spanoulis out top for Olympiacos. Goes to AC Law. Look at the mismatch there. Law is on the ground. He got hurt last year's semifinal. Let's see what happens with him. ΤΣΣΚΑ ball. Law gets back. It's going to be Kriapa on the wings. Gets in the lane. Inside the Kriapa. Fouled by Papanikolaou. Let's see if it's 2 free throws or not. We'll see if the referee decided. Kriapa was shooting, and he'll go to the free throw line for a couple shots.
I don't think it was anything serious with AC Law. I think he just collided with his head with the defender. He was holding his forehead, so I think it's okay. Last year it was the ankle that he sprained, and it was a very difficult situation. Of course, he came back to the final and played a few minutes, but it will be okay after this collision.
Well, what can you say about AC Law? We were going back to look at the video of his ankle injury in the semifinal last year, but before that, he took a dive head first on the floor. I don't know which one was worse in the end, the ankle, but he came off practically on the final last year. Kriapa, he gets neither of the free throws to go down, so it remains a 10-10 tie. Victor Kriapa missing at the free throw line, giving Olympiacos a chance to stay in front on this possession. AC Law goes to the basket, gets position, puts it down. Olympiacos back out in front.
That was a nice move, but I wouldn't be expecting from the big guys of ΤΣΣΚΑ to provide some help side defense. There was absolutely nothing coming from the big men.
There's ΤΣΣΚA inside the Kriapa, kicks to Erceg. Off the mark, the specialty three-point shooter, but there's Kriapa with the offensive rebound. He's got it back from Count, spins on the baseline. And that looks like another foul on Kostas Papanikolaou. And if that's the case, that's tough on Olympiacos. 2 for him, and of course, he spent last year's Final Four without missing a single shot from the field. Unheard of in Final Four setting, and has been even better this year.
I think that Coach ΤΣΣΚA on the way out from the court, he was just trying to calm him down. Maybe a little bit too much overexcitement for Kostas Papanikolaou.
Inbounds by CSKA. Erceg swings to Kriapa inside on the post. It's Weems against Spanoulis. Spanoulis comes up with it. Stratos Papadoglou in the game, had that ball on the floor. He just came in for Olympiacos, replacing Papanikolaou. He didn't like the way Kriapa was hustling and trying to tie him up. It wasn't tied up ball. We'll go to Olympiacos, so he did his job. I didn't like being challenged.
I think all the time he was under control. Look at that right here, and this is Final Four, Frank. This is Final Four basketball. You put everything on the court, and you saw it right there.
This guy was in the game for 3 seconds before he was getting charged up. So you know he's a former Euroleague winner. You know he knows what it takes.
I mean, he's a very experienced player and a great addition to Olympiacos team for this season.
Coming up at the midway point of the first quarter, the champs from Olympiacos up 10-12 against CSKA. Ball to AC Law in the corner, working with Powell. Powell looks like he gets hit with an offensive foul. We're moving on the screen.
Exactly, Frank. I think he just moved his feet there on the screen and was called by the referees for the foul.
So we have a timeout on the floor at the O2 in London as the Final Four is roaring already. It's halfway through the first quarter, 10-12 for Olympiacos. And if you aren't lucky enough to be in London for the Final Four, you have your own representative here in the Eye of the Fan, courtesy of Turkish Airlines. You just need to go to www.eyeofthefan.com and see everything that our courtside fan sees in the games and around London this weekend. The young gentleman has a camera on his forehead, and he will show you everything he can of a fan experience if you don't have the opportunity and the good luck to be in London for this weekend's Final Four. Eye of the Fan, www.eyeofthefan.com from Turkish Airlines throughout the Final Four weekend, I should say. As we said, we're at the midway point of the first quarter here in this great rematch for last year's final game. And George Zidane looks to me like Sonny Weems came out and tried to put a punch against Olympiacos, but Olympiacos took it and came back with more.
I think they just feel so self-confident, Frank. I'm really surprised maybe what Coach Bartzokas was talking about. There's more pressure on CSKA. Olympiacos is playing without pressure. I mean, I do not see any pressure at all on the players. They are free-floating in their offense. I mean, they are taking charge on defense. This has been just some beautiful basketball played by Olympiacos Piraeus.
And George Zidane, we talked about the size advantage of CSKA needing to impose it on Olympiacos. Olympiacos tries to use its quickness. We haven't seen that yet, have we?
I think that Nenad Krstić was talking about in his interview before the game, and he said one thing: size advantage really matters in this series. But in a one-game scenario, Frank, in 40 minutes, that is really difficult to explore.
Even CSKA Moscow head coach Anthony Messina said, if our guys don't move, the size means nothing. Milos Teodosic on top for CSKA. And a foul right off the bat by Papadopoulou.
They need to watch out because Kostas Papanikolaou's got 2 fouls in Papadopoulou immediately after checking into the game on the second possession. Defensively, he's picking up his first foul, so they need to be careful in the small forward position.
As Victor Kriapa and Erceg swinging between the 3 and 4 positions. Erceg at 4 right now, but Kriapa at 3. Teodosic has the ball, puts it to Erceg, to Sonny Weems, he'll launch for 3. And another one for Sonny Weems. He is perfect with 3 shots so far.
He's playing a great game. He spots up and waits patiently for his shot. Once he receives the ball, he's putting it up.
CSKA back in front, 13-12. Panulis in the corner, Papadopoulou off the mark with his 3-pointer. And Powell with a push on the rebound gets called for a foul. So that is 2 fouls for him as well. They need that big body of Josh Powell. Here you see Sonny Weems, who's been perfect all night. I think he touched the rim alone on just 1 shot, and that was very barely. It's been nothing but net for Sonny Weems.
I mean, he's really focused and making the most out of his positions. Sonny Weems is playing a great game.
Sonny Weems up to 8 points. Victor Kriapa has the other 5. They're the only 2 scorers so far for CSKA. Here's Zoran Erceg joining the scoring column with his first free throw. Here's a guy that really presents matchup problems because he's so big and such a great shooter.
From the outside, he's a perfect spot-up shooter. If you have a dominant center on the inside, I think that he plays the best with Nenad Krstić posting up on the inside, throwing the ball for the outside shot.
Erceg gives CSKA a 15-12 lead. As we see Kyle Hines in the game now for Olympiacos. Manulis to the basket, looking for somebody to pass to. It turned out it was Erceg, and here comes CSKA the other way.
That was the big bodies of CSKA Moscow just blocking the view for Spanulis.
Sonny Weems in the post to Kriapa, backing down on AC Law. He's got the advantage. But he shuffled his feet, so that'll be a turnover on Victor Kriapa.
That was a clear mismatch there on AC Law on the switch, and I thought that Victor Kriapa would have turned to his shoulder to the baseline.
It looks like Turner, the number 4 on CSKA. They had trouble early in the season taking care of the ball. They have got to watch out for that tonight.
I think it's a different team though, Frank. I remember early in the season we were doing some games of CSKA Moscow, especially in Partizan Belgrade, and they really turned the ball over too many times, but this team has transformed into a completely different club.
As soon as Panulis out top for Olympiacos gets a screen from Printesses, AC Law working with Kyle Hines. Pass to Hines, goes down on Town, gets his own rebound and kicks it out to start over. AC Law to the rim, gets fouled. almost makes it. He'll be going to the free throw line, but that's what he had to do, challenge the big man.
I am impressed, Frank. I mean, did you see Karl-Heinz is challenging Sasha Karl, and immediately after getting his own rebound, throwing it out, AC Law just penetrates and challenges the bigs again. Olympiacos is in attacking mode, I would say.
And here comes Nenad Kirstic on the floor for CSKA. What kind of luxury and talent must you have when you can bring the top-rated player in the Euroleague this season in the game after 6 minutes?
That is a huge luxury, and let's not forget a second player that is checking in right now. It's Vladimir Mitsov. Frank, if you talk about versatility, I think this guy might be just the most versatile player in Euroleague. He can play on offense, he can play on defense, he gets some hustle points. I mean, he will do anything to help his team.
AC Law knocks down the first free throw for Olympiacos. He gets another one here, but you're right about Vladimir Mitsov, guy who doesn't get a lot of publicity, but was starting in mid-season for them. And as you said, rebound and shoot from outside, and a great assist man for a forward.
I got him written down as the ultimate team player for CSKA Moscow. I think he's going to make the contribution, but let's not forget Nenad Kirstic. I'm sure that the strategy now will be to go down low.
Olympiacos within 1, 15-14, CSKA ball, Mitsov to Teodosic. As we see Kostas Slukas in the game guarding him, he's double teamed, it gets inside the Kirstic, goes right up, misses the first one, rebound for Vasilis Spanoulis. Foul in transition by Vladimir Mitsov. So Olympiacos stopping the first shot of Kirstic. That's very difficult for a guy who shoots incredible percentages like he does, 63%. Of 2-pointers for the year.
It was a good position for Nenad Kirstic on the roll, but he just missed that shot, and immediately, Frank, they go around, they go on the run, they try to push the ball for the fast break.
Vasilis Spanoulis at the free throw line with a chance to put Olympiacos ahead. With 3 minutes left in the first quarter. He ties it up with his first free throw.
And of course, you talk about Vasilis Spanoulis, you must mention leading in Euroleague in fouls committed on him. Fouls received. He's got 5 on average in every game. That is a great contribution.
And he's got 4 tonight, and he's got Olympiacos in the lead at 15-16. Here's Mitsov playing point forward, bringing the ball up against Spanoulis. Goes to Erceg, hand off to Teodosic. Teodosic gets a little push, trying to make his move from Karl-Heinz. So first foul on Karl-Heinz. Talk about Karl-Heinz, George, because maybe the fans see him and think he's more of a player than he is. Here you see the foul as Karl-Heinz impedes Teodosic. Karl-Heinz is top 5 in blocks and rebounding Euroleague, top 6 I should say, at only 1 meter 97.
That's a huge holiday for Karl-Heinz. I mean, he competes under any situation. And you saw his biggest advantage right there. As a big man, he can step out on the pick and roll situation and get a lot of pressure on the dribble. You saw right there, he made the foul right there. This is his biggest contribution on defense.
Teodosic missed his first and he missed his second. So he remains off the scoreboard in this game. And CSKA's now missed 4 out of 6 free throws. As Heinz drives to the rim, stopped by Kirstic. Very good defense by Kirstic. Quick feed by Nenad Kirstic to deny Karl-Heinz at the rim. Kirstic now has it. The pressure by Olympiacos. Teodosic going to Mitsov in the corner. Erceg to Kirstic for the slam.
That was a perfect great play by 2 big men.
Serbian big, this Vladimir Mitsov and Kirstic started at by Erceg started at by Kirstic finished it like we've seen him do thousands of times.
This is exactly exploiting. You see right now, this is exploiting the size advantage, but you need to move. You cannot stand as 2 big men down low and one in the high post. You need to move. There is a flash pass, cross-court pass, and immediately flash down.
Foul at the other end of the floor. Looks like it's on Nenad Kirstic. That will put Statos Paparoto on the free throw line, but we just saw Teo Papaloukas enter the game for CSKA Moscow, making him the all-time leader in Final Four appearances with 9, and that's 9 since 2000. 2003, so almost every year he's played Milos Teodosic, Teo Papaloukas. Now the new record holder for Final Four appearances. As Purpuroglu puts Olympiacos ahead again. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Teodosic and Slukas bumping into each other.
That was a lot of contact right there, Frank. I mean, Kostas Slukas is really getting after it.
Teodosic splits the defenders. Misses, however. Tries to get his rebound back. Still loose. Slukas comes up with it.
I mean, there's some fighting going on right here. A lot of intensity on the court. Olympiacos is really being aggressive defensively.
Inside the Purpuroglu to the corner. Panoulis. Acrobatic shot. Times rebound.
This is all about heart and dedication. That's what Olympiacos people talk about. Look at right here.
Let's see it again. The short man in lead. CSKA big man. It's 1-97. You're taking it to him.
You have to respect that. I mean, everybody just watching the little big man finishing his job. What an accomplishment right there.
George, we talked about mentality and the strong psychological makeup of this Olympiacos team before the game. That is an example of it. CSKA will just up 15-12. Yeah, Kyle Hines, the cut free throw, has swung this game in favor of Olympiacos with 1:23 to play in the first quarter. Back in the game, gets it to Sonny Weems from CSKA. Defense of Olympiacos stopping everybody but Weems. He goes baseline, popping at the Papaloukas, who throws it out of bounds. A little bit late, a step short, and Olympiacos defense is disorienting CSKA right now.
You can tell exactly who is the aggressor. Look at that right here. I mean, Olympiacos might be half a step late, but they are the aggressors, Frank. They are making CSKA react. That's the most important thing.
It's a 17-21 scoreboard. Timeout on the floor. The 0-2 in London and Final Four action in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. We've gone back and forth throughout this first quarter between last year's finalists. Right now, Olympiacos on the floor, forcing a timeout by CSKA to try to regroup before something worse happens to them at the end of this first quarter.
Well, I think that Derek Jackson was put back into the game because he's the energy man. He's the guy who's just come off the bench and provide some energy, change of pace, change of direction for CSKA Moscow. Let's see if it works out. I mean, now Olympiacos will inbound the ball and they will have another chance to extend the lead.
It's a 2-9 run for Olympiacos, and this happened early in the game as well. CSKA was ahead 5-2 to start the game. Here they came back and took the lead, so it's gone back and forth, but Olympiacos is the one answering, let's say. We see some of the meetings between these two teams. Of course, last year's title game, they've also met in quarterfinals back in 1994-95, where CSKA was the victor the first time they ever played. And a long list of games in between, but nothing topped last year's final 19-point comeback in 12 minutes. It made Olympiacos the champion on the last second shot. They're ahead now, trying to finish off the first quarter. Final minute of the first quarter. Slukas, the AC line, going to Slukas in the corner. Goes inside, the penalty outage, lost the handle on his shot. He just gave it the game, but lost the handle.
Yeah, he usually plays from the outside, but he took a good position on the inside, but the ball just slipped off the palm to the palm of his hand. What a good shot here by Pedro Antic.
Sonny Weems to Teo Papaloukas. Looking inside for Kirstich, can't get him the ball. And another throwaway, and another turnover. Minutes it made Olympiacos the champion on the last second shot. They're ahead now, trying to finish off the first quarter. Final minute of the first quarter. Slukas, the AC line, going to Slukas in the corner. Goes inside, the penalty outage, lost the handle on his shot. He just gave it the game, but lost the handle.
Yeah, he usually plays from the outside, but he took a good position on the inside, but the ball just slipped off the palm to the palm of his hand. What a good shot there by Pedro.
Sonny Weems to Teo Papaloukas. Looking inside for Kirstic, can't get him the ball. And another throwaway, and another turnover by Papaloukas. You can't say that the 9-time veteran of the Final Four is nervous. It may be the Olympiacos defense that just overplay it.
I see a little bit of frustration on the faces of CSKA players because they are going against a very aggressive and active defense. The players of Olympiacos are really active on their feet and with their hands. Let's see what happens, Frank, how they set up the last shot of the first quarter.
Olympiacos ball, 17-21, Law goes baseline, gets it to Slukas for three, knocks it down, goes to Slukas, 3 seconds left in the corner. Lucas tries, he misses, but a huge run, make it 2-12 run for Olympiacos to finish the first quarter. They are going strong, and they have taken a 17-24 lead here. Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four days comes to Slukas, getting the fans out of their seat. Olympiacos has 2,000 from here. And there you see the shot.
Online dating again?
It's 2013, Grandma. Deal with it.
He's reeling one in.
She thinks I'm funny, but she's not sure about my photo.
Yeah, it's a bit fun, Dad. Quick, swap it for this one before she bails.
Just keep her smiling.
Not the cheese joke.
How do I feel about electrophobia? Fear of chickens is rare, but...
She means the band, mate. Tell her you got tickets to see him on Friday.
Have I?
You do now.
I've got a date.
8 times faster fibre optic broadband. Infinity, only from BT.
The new KFC Streetwise All-Stars. A tasty barbecue or flaming wrap, popcorn, chicken and fries, all for $2.99. It's the ultimate lineup.
We all love Cup Final Day, and at ESPN, we like to do it properly. Coming live from the home of football, our all-dayer includes breakfast at Wembley. Access all areas, plus PTI. The boys will be talking tactics at midday, followed by a Talk of the Terrace special. All this before the main event, uninterrupted and ad-free from team walkout to trophy list. With a dedicated day of coverage, why watch it anywhere else? The FA Cup Final, tomorrow, live on ESPN.
Sonny Weems getting ready for the second quarter. Of course, he's the top scorer so far for CSKA Moscow with 8 points. Got to try to get them back in the game because they've fallen behind 7. Kriapa in the corner misses the mark, and Perpet-Oglu pulls down the rebound. And George Zidek, CSKA, Olympiacos staying with CSKA in the rebounds despite the height disadvantage.
I mean, if you look at 2 games that they played against each other, Frank, it was 37-37 in the first game on the rebounds and 28-27. So the rebounding historically this season was pretty much even, Frank. But I think more players are involved for Olympiacos.
Kyle Hines trying to do it again inside. Ball rolls off the rim. Here comes Weems with CSKA off the floor. To Papaloukas. Kicks to Kriapa, 3-pointer by Kriapa goes down. They left him a little too open.
And this is an important basket psychologically for CSKA. They really hit a drought offensively for the last 3 minutes. So important basket for CSKA Moscow in the beginning of the second period.
AC Law with the ball for Olympiacos, gets it to Kyle Hines, hand off to Slukas. Slukas inside the Hines, stretches the needle, Hines puts it down. End of the point basket for Olympiacos.
And this is the patented pick and roll offense that Spanoulis runs, but now Kostas Slukas just did a great job as well.
Aaron Jackson on the wing for CSKA to Sonny Weems. Papaloukas looking inside to Kirstic. They finally get it into him, but only 5 on the shot clock. He's got to turn around and jump shot misses. The rebound is loose, and Slukas again comes up with it. AC Law decides not to push the break, but he finds Perpologlu inside. It'll be Antic from three-point distance, answering. Olympiacos 9-point lead.
You know he loves that. Antic just stays with those spots up for the long three, launches it immediately, and a first successful three for him. I think that Frank, going back to defense, I think Karl-Heinz is doing a hell of a job on Christie. He's pushing him outside of the paint well.
No, Antic that time gets called for pushing Kirstic. And you mentioned before, George, that how Vasilis Spanoulis was the top in drawing fouls in the Euroleague this season. But of course, Nenad Kirstic is almost as good in drawing fouls. One of the top players as well with 3.81. Well, it's more than a foul drawn in the game, sorry. 4.6, I'm sorry. Second or 7th in the league. Kirstic, here's Sonny Weems from downtown. Misses everything, George.
He's looking at the referee and he's saying that Perpologlu just touched his forearm. No foul is called and the ball isn't touched, so the ball will be embodied by Olympiacos. I cannot help it, but
here's the replay. Perpologlu was right there, but Weems was hitting shots like that with defenders before this.
I think he was right on top of him. Maybe a bad shot selection there by Sonny Weems. He could have waited for a second longer.
AC Law working on Olympiacos' 9-point lead early in the second quarter of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague semifinals. An offensive foul on Vasilis Spanoulis trying to go around Aaron Jackson. So the referees, with a magnifying glass, decided that one was on the MVP this season.
Look at the replay right here. Aaron Jackson is very active. They collide right there.
Now you see Jackson trying to break the cut of Spanoulis, but Spanoulis wrapped him around with both hands.
And this is his role. Aaron Jackson will try to do his best just to slow down to make life difficult for Vasilis Spanoulis.
Teodosic Sakria up in the corner to Jackson. He shoots and he hits a three-pointer. So Aaron Jackson hits his first three-pointer on the second attempt, and that's important if they want to keep him on the floor as a defender.
But it's a bonus, Frank. I still maintain that defense is the most important.
Spanoulis to Hines on the lob alley-oop. He gets fouled by Sasha Khan, but what smart play by Karl-Heinz. We've seen him block alley-oop lobs like that on the defensive end this year, as we see the replay of Aaron Jackson knocking down one from the corner, much needed for CSKA Moscow. They're now within 6, 23-29, but that puts Karl-Heinz on the free throw line at the other end.
But Frank, you have to respect the offense of Olympiacos. I mean, the pick and roll play, it is played to the perfection. The execution is unbelievable. They come off the high pick, and the big bodies of Karl-Heinz. He's not tall, but he's so low to the ground. He sets a quality pick and immediately rolls to the basket. He creates such a huge corridor to accept the pass that is so easy to hit him.
Karl-Heinz, 50% free throw shooter on the season, is now 3 for 3 in this game. Another good sign for Olympiacos as they retain an 8-point lead here early in the second quarter. Despite 5 of 9 three-pointers so far by CSKA, this Teodosic also shooting from distance, misses, and a rebound by Pero Antic.
Pero Antic just cleared the boards right there. He stayed alone there, and he can start a fast break.
Spanoulis gets a screen from Georgi Shermadini in the game. Right ball goes inside. It's going to be Antic for a two-pointer, knocking it down. So now they go to the big guy, Shermadini, and he passes as well.
And Frank, I think this is too easy. For defense of CSKA, they play very good defense. I mean, he used to Ettore Messina to be coaching some defensive teams. I don't think he is liking this at all.
Now at the other end by Stratos Perpologlu, and here you see that shot by Pero Antic. But just shows you, George, that Georgi Shermadini, who hasn't played a whole lot for Olympiacos, to come in the second quarter of a semifinal and have the presence of mind to pass out from under the basket.
Very difficult role, Frank, to come out with the limited minutes that he's played and contribute. That is not easy.
Dimitris Katsivelis in the game for Olympiacos, another of their young players. Ball, backdoor pass stolen by Spanoulis. It's a 10-point lead. He goes to Law. He finishes. It's a 12-point lead. Who the defending champions Olympiacos
we talk about who's controlling the tempo. 100% controlled by Olympiacos. Look at the replay. Vasilis Panoulis gets off to the races. He finds ACL. An easy way of Olympiacos and a 12-point lead.
An amazing run since it was 15 to 12 in favor of CSKA. We're talking about a 33 to 10 to 33 run for Olympiacos, 10 to 23 run, I'm sorry, for Olympiacos. I mean, they are just doing it, everything in the last 6 minutes.
You know how they're doing it? Simple basketball. Get the rebound, get a play in the box out, get the rebound, start the fast break, and look for easy points. You don't want to get stuck with a possession for possession battle with CSKA Moscow. You don't want to go against their big bodies without movement. They're going for easy points.
George, tell me this. We have seen that CSKA get stuck a lot of times in their offense. We'll have a look, first of all, at our Eye of the Fan. If you aren't lucky enough to be in London for the Final Four, you have your own representative here in the Eye of the Fan, courtesy of Turkish Airlines. So go to the www.eyeofthefan.com and see everything that our chosen courtside fan sees in the games and around London this weekend. There's a whole lot of things going on around London, a fan zone in Trafalgar Square, many corporate social responsibility activities, and you can see it all through the Eye of the Fan, courtesy of Turkish Airlines. We go back to the O2 in London, where things are getting very wild with the Olympiacos fans. They smell their team really putting the pressure on CSKA Moscow with a 12-point lead here in the second quarter.
I think CSKA really needs to focus on transition defense, Frank. They really need to stop Olympiacos' running game. I mean, Ettore Messina cannot accept that his team is getting scored on so easily like it's been happening so far.
The defense on the ball by Olympiacos. Mitsov in the corner, gets it inside the Kriapa. Rebound by Sasha Kaun and blasted in. So that's another stroke of a boost for CSKA when they needed it.
And Sasha Kaun is perfect in this, Frank. I mean, he will get the scrappy points, he will fight, and he will hustle to death, and he showed it right there. Important points by him.
AC La to Pero Antic to Vasilis Panoulis. Gets it back to Antic for three. In and out for Antic, and rebound by Milos Teodosic.
You see the defense by Olympiacos. They are stopping the running game of CSKA. This is the huge difference, Frank. I mean, CSKA has not had a chance to score. You see points right there. They immediately stop their fast break.
Well, in general, you'd have to say, George, that they are defending closer to half court than maybe CSKA is used to. But the pressure on the ball really has CSKA delaying its offense. And you're talking about Teodosic being one of the best passers in the game, and we've only seen one assist from him. Here's Mitsov from deep. He misses, but is that the kind of shot they want?
I don't think so. I think that overall in this game so far, that Olympiacos has been getting a lot better games and looks at the basket than CSKA Moscow.
Pero Antic inside to Georgi Shermadini, blocked by Kaun. Going back up, Georgi mixes it, gets it again, and the third time it goes down with a foul. Georgi Shermadini,
the tallest player on the floor, Frank, and this is truly inspirational. He just stays with the ball. Look at that, 3 tries. I don't know how many we're gonna see here. This is the first miss. He gets the rebound, turns, and this was the 3rd try actually. So he scores A1. This was the first block. He got block shot. He gets it back. He misses again, but stays with it. That's it. Look at the dedication in the eyes of Georgi Shermadini. Unbelievable.
You're talking about a guy who plays 10.5 minutes a game, George. We saw another play like that early where Kyle Hines rebounded between 4 CSKA defenders. It's happened again already.
And this goes back to self-belief, Frank. This team is really believing in themselves.
CSKA 25, Olympiacos 38, the biggest lead in the game for the defending champs. With 4:27 to play in the first quarter, ball goes inside to Kirstich, swings to Mitsov, another three-pointer, and another miss. That's 11 three-point attempts already by CSKA.
But this was a wide open look, Frank. They need to knock down these shots. Mitsov was wide open.
It'll be Spanoulis to Katsivelis to Pero Antic, fakes, drives, blocked by Sasha Kaun, big block. Mitsov picks it up. Ahead to Sonny Weems. And to Teodosic for three.
That's a very early shot right there. I mean, considering how close Katsivelis was to Teodosic.
5 for 13 make it for CSKA from downtown. They've only shot 10 two-pointers in the game. Here's Spanoulis off the back of the rim. And CSKA will get another chance to try to cut this difference. But no, it's another turnover as Teodosic commits the 8th turnover for CSKA Moscow. Lots of signs looking worrisome for CSKA.
I agree, Frank. And look at it right here. There wasn't so much pressure there on Teodosic this time. I think this is just a mental mistake.
It's the 3rd pass of similar problems that we've seen result in turnovers, just not connecting the CSKA players. Here's Spanoulis, dribbles off his foot. Shermadini picks it up, but loses the handle. So that's a turnover, just the 5th one for Olympiacos. Ball goes inside to Kirstic, backing up Antic, almost stolen by Shermadini, but Sasha Khan was there to put it back.
Sasha Khan was in the right place at the right time. He picks up the ball when it was stripped from Nenad Kirstic and just puts it back home.
Timeout on the floor at the O2 in London. 3 minutes left in the second quarter, I'm sorry, with 27-38 lead for Olympiacos. As you see the basket by Sasha Khan, but that's been one of the few and far between good signs for CSKA since about the 5th minute of the first quarter. They've only been able to do things one at a time and with a lot of miscues in between. That's why they've been trailing by double digits for most of that time.
You know what's worrisome to me, Frank, is that both Sonny Weems and Victor Chiappa started red hot in the beginning of the first quarter, but I mean, they have all but almost disappeared since then. So right now it's Sasha Khan who is just trying to hold up CSKA, and this is not typical.
Coming out of another timeout, CSKA looking to turn things around. They don't want to get into halftime. Down 11. There's Sasha Khan, who got the basket for CSKA before that timeout. They're looking for some sparks from them, from him and others. But it's this team, the defending champions of Olympiacos, who have taken control of this game. And George, they've done it without one of their key players, closest Papa Nicolau, on the floor for a long time here in the first half.
But I'll tell you, Frank, what they have accomplished, they have taken CSKA out of their rhythm. If you think about CSKA basketball, you think about Nenad Kirstic scoring on the inside. You think about Sonny Weems being isolated on the wings and taking players one-on-one. You think about Milos Teodosic making the spectacular passes. We have seen nothing of that. They are taken out of their rhythm. That's what Olympiacos' defense has accomplished. I'm sorry, that's the way I see it.
Olympiacos ball, they're holding an 11-point lead with under 3 minutes left in the first half. First semifinal tonight. Up later, it's Real Madrid and Barcelona, arch rivals in Spain. There's Slukas to Pedro Antic. Lots of patience for Olympiacos. Slukas guarded by Kirstic. He's going to take that shot and hit that shot. Facing up against the big man, making it 13 points again.
Frank, I'm sorry, but this is lady luck right there. I think Kostas Slukas really was lucky on that shot.
He challenged a big man from deep. Fooled him, probably he was expecting a drive. Here's Teodosic the other way. Kicks to Kirstic. His two-pointer off the mark. And the bad shooting percentages are starting to show on CSKA.
Yeah, but I mean, Frank, do you expect Nenad Kirstic to be shooting a long two?
Here's Slukas from deep, off the front of the rim. Ball tipped out of bounds by Katsivelis.
And right there, Frank,
CSKA basketball.
Frank, this was an important moment. You saw that the rebound was lost, but still Katsivelis hustled and he stopped the fast break. This is the difference, I'm telling you. They don't give up on anything. Even though they cannot get the ball, they try to disrupt something.
Kostas Papanikolaou back in the game after he got 2 early fouls. He is the Rising Star Trophy winner, one of the guys with the biggest motor in the Euroleague, but they want him out here to try to preserve this double-digit lead going into halftime.
It's important for him to get some minutes at the first half to close the half, to be in rhythm. I think it's a good move to put him back on the floor. He must be careful, though.
Sonny Weems to Teodosic. Drives the lane. One-hander by Teodosic. That's off the mark. Georgi Shermadini almost tipped it in, but he got the offensive-defensive rebound. And it's Olympiacos working on a 13-point lead. It's Vasilis Spanoulis from deep, missing. He was going for it all there. He wanted 16 going in halftime.
But again, it was from that pick-and-roll situation. Georgi Shermadini set a nice pick Spanoulis. Spanoulis was wide open, so he just took the shot.
Sonny Weems backing down on Spanoulis. Spanoulis measuring his time before committing the foul.
That's number 2, Frank.
So a second foul on Vasilis Spanoulis there. And here you see the mismatch. Weems just bigger, stronger, heavier. Spanoulis wasn't really trying to commit the foul, but he will go off the floor now. The MVP with 1:19 to play. His team leading by 13 in the second quarter of the first semifinal tonight. Sonny Weems goes to free throw line. Misses the first of his 2 attempts there. First time to free throw line for Weems. He had 8 points very early in this game. He misses 2, and he's an 83% free throw shooter. That's also becoming a theme among the CSKA problems. Free throw shooting, they are now 2 for 8 from the free throw line.
Nothing is going well for CSKA Moscow. It really is 25%.
Slukas to Hines. Hines gets blocked by Sasha Kaum, but holds on to Slukas, gets the rebound. This time he drives on Kirstich. One-hander misses. And Sasha Kaum comes down with the rebound. Just 50 seconds left until halftime. Teodosic inside to Kirstich. Guarded by Hines. Spinning. And he gets called for a turnover. 3 seconds. Did you see Katsivalis? What the hell? Confusing Sasha Kaum.
I mean, I saw Katsivalis coming in, but I saw a lot of pushing from Kyle Hines. I mean, he was just holding his own. You have Nenad Krstić, we call him the earth mover, but he could not move Kyle Hines an inch, Frank. I mean, there's some serious battles going on down low.
We have only a dunk so far by Nenad Krstić, who's averaging 14 points a game this year. Here's Papanikolaou, gets baseline. He throws his pass away, however, to Slukas. So that goes all the way to bounds with 23 seconds left in the first half. But Olympiacos still clinging this 13-point lead. CSKA needs a psychological boost on this last possession, if it's the last possession of the first half, because all the psychology has gone Olympiacos' way so far.
I agree with you 100%, Frank. This is a very important possession. It's a 13 points difference. If they can cut it out, it will be psychologically very important to go back to the locker room on a good note, on a scored basket.
Kirstich takes a seat. Zoran Erceg comes back in the game. Inbounded by CSKA. Teodosic out top. Looks like he's going to run the clock out. He's got Slukas on him. Gets a screen from Kriapa. And the foul of Kostas Slukas trying to get position on Kriapa will put Kriapa on the free throw line.
That was a switch right there on that pick and roll situation. Papanikolaou called that the players were going to switch, and Kostas Slukas right there was the switch, and he just holds around the waist of Victor Kriapa. That's a clear call. That's an easy call for the referees to make. You know, Frank, they will be watching for that if you hold a player like that.
Very easy call to make. It'll put Victor Kriapa on the free throw line after this timeout on the floor at the O2 in London. First semifinal of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four, with the defending champions of Olympiacos up 13 points, 27-40. Kriapa goes to free throw line, but also this foul gives Olympiacos another chance. They can up the lead still.
Oh, that's plenty of time to make something happen. It will be interesting to see if Spanoulis will come back to the floor. I believe that he will come back and he will try to run the last offense.
Well, we all know with 10 seconds left before any buzzer what Vasilis Spanoulis could do, because if Yorgos Princesis was the hero with the shot last year, a man who spent the first 8 seconds of the last possession was Spanoulis setting him up. And of course, that's why he is the MVP of the EuroLeague this season, because he does it for himself and his teammates.
Yes, he's coming back, Frank. I see him coming back to the floor.
No, it's not. I don't think, George.
No, yeah, he's staying there ready, though.
They're going to leave Spanoulis on the sideline. Looks like he's crouched, and maybe if they get a chance, they'll bring him back in. But it's Kriapa at the free throw line. He's an 85% free throw shooter, but missed his first 2 tonight. And misses his third.
What is going on with CSKA's free throw shooting?
CSKA's a 73% free throw shooting team. which is not as bad as their 2 for 9 so far, making 3 for 10 in the first half. That's 30%. They're almost 40% off their average. As we see Spanoulis come back in for the last possession, the ball goes in to Kostas Sloukas. 9, ball to Spanoulis. Goes to Kostas Papanikolaou, back to Spanoulis for 3. Misses. Sonny Weems at the rebound, no time to shoot. And that is where the first half of the first semifinal in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four will end with a 28-40 score on the scoreboard in favor of the defending champions from Olympiacos. They were down a little bit early, but started to make their move at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter when they were down 15-12. And since then, their defense has held CSKA to just 13 points in the last 15 minutes or so of this first half, while on offense, as George Zidek said, they did the simple things extremely well to take this 12-point lead at halftime.
I mean, Frank, I think the theme of the first half was that they were the aggressors. Olympiacos really took the first step, and CSKA had to react. They were the aggressors. That's the bottom line for me. That's what I saw in the first half.
Okay, George Zidek will come back for the second half and see what's happening. But right now, it's Olympiacos up by 12. See if CSKA can come back after halftime.
This is a sunset, and I've seen it in 79 countries. I grace saloon bars, wine bars, even spent time behind bars. I've met rising stars, fallen stars, film stars. I've known the lips of many women, factory girls, pin-up girls, even a Miss World. But there is so much more to see. I am San Miguel, una vida bien vivida.
We all like to save a little here and a little there. Loft insulation. Oh wait, 2 for 1. Cold wash, short spin. Economy flush.
Car insurance, straight to Aviva. Obviously.
Which is very important for us because our first priority is to run on transition. So we need to keep doing a good job on defensive rebound. So we want to hit on transition. Otherwise, we need to have patience and to find the open man. We did it with let's say, in a good level in the first half, and we have to keep going with this way.
Very good, Coach. Good luck. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There we heard from Giorgos Bartzokas, the head coach of Olympiacos Piraeus. Of course, the team is going for a double, a repeat, very rare in EuroLeague history. But he came in replacing the legendary Dusan Ivkovic, who stepped away and ended his club coaching career. And this guy came in this season, had a lot of pressure just to get Olympiacos to the Final Four. Here he is leading by 12 at halftime against CSKA Moscow and their great coach, Etta de Messina, who we'll also hear from right now. Let's hear Etta de Messina.
Olympiacos came out, were very inspired, determined. What were your impressions of the first half?
They came out very aggressively, and we did not handle well their pressure. We had too much of a poor offensive first half, and if you are so poor, you can't expect to win a game like this. And even if they didn't, let's say, score a lot, but they got some offensive rebound, they got some steals, and they forced our best shots, and they are controlling the game, and we need to change this.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck.
There we heard from Etta de Messina of CSKA Moscow saying, we can't win the way we're playing. We have to change, or Olympiacos will be going to the final.
Exactly, Frank. And what was interesting about Giorgos Bartzokas, coach of Olympiacos, what he said, I don't want to change anything. I just want to stay with transition. I want to stay active. I want to push the ball down the court. And that goes in line with what he said before the game. I'm not making any changes. I will have 2 videos, 2 practices, and we will just stay with the same routine that we did for the whole year. It's just another road game for us.
Turkish Airlines, Spalding, Intersport, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
Back to the O2 in London, ready for second half action. between semifinalists CSKA Moscow, Olympiacos, Piraeus right now, the defending champion from Olympiacos, up by 12 with a great defensive first half and great teamwork. Of course, we have another semifinal following this one later this evening with the great Spanish arch rivals, FC Barcelona Regal versus Real Madrid. You can't get a better derby, as they call it, in Spain and here in London. And between those two teams, two of the biggest names in world sport of any kind, coming next in the second semifinal tonight. But so far here, George Zidek, Olympiacos. But do you think that CSKA has the capacity to come out here in the second half and turn things around?
I mean, I don't doubt that for a second. They have so much experience. They have a lot of pride. I mean, many players say that they want to play for CSKA Moscow because they always aim for victory. They want to win any tournament, any competition that they take part in.
And George, if I had to look at a player who's going to be key for CSKA trying to come back, it would be Milos Teodosic, who, of course, all Euroleague second team player, one of the great passers. He's 0 for 5 from the field and has only 1 assist. Part of that is Olympiacos' defense, but part of it is Teodosic has to be himself.
Oh, he has to be himself, and I like how you described him in your blog, Frank, before coming to London. You call him a passing virtuoso. So let's see if we see some of those spectacular passes in the second half.
Well, he has the height, presumably, as he's done all season, to go over defenses. We have seen him try that a couple times, but that was during a rash of turnovers that almost sailed out of bounds.
But I mean, Frank, you have to take in consideration that he's got one defender in his face and somebody's chasing him from behind. Double teams coming from the side. I mean, he's been just swamped by defenders all game long.
Well, as you saw with his season averages, even at halftime, 0 points and 1 assist is a slow night for Milos Teodosic. See if he tries to pick it up now. It's AC Law going to Josh Powell for Olympiacos. Off the rim, Powell. And a rebound by Victor Kriapa.
That was a good defense there by CSKA Moscow. They have a chance to start with a close turnover right there. And there was another unforced error, Frank. I cannot help it, but there was not pressure on the passer.
Unbelievable. There's of the now 10 turnovers by CSKA, you'd have to say 4 or 5 of them were completely unforced, George. They just had to sink. Spanoulis with the ball, 10 seconds on the shot clock. He drives on Count, he gets it down. Basket goes in, looks like there was a foul in the process. Or no, it was Sasha Count touching the ball off the backboard.
Exactly.
But right now, Olympiacos has his biggest lead of the entire game, making 14 points. Biggest lead before this was 13. Kriapa out top to Teodosic, back to Kriapa. Swings all the way to the corner. Sonny Weems from deep misses, and a rebound for Prentices. Olympiacos coming out just as good as they were for the last 15 minutes of the first half. AC Law with the ball. You see that patience at work, George Zidek. Let's see what he gets out of this. Drives, kicks out. He gets it back in the corner, AC Law. He's got to put it up now. No, 2 on the shot clock. Powell can't get it off. So good defense by CSKA Moscow, forcing one of the rare turnovers. Just the 6th of this game. Make it the 7th, I'm sorry, for Olympiacos.
Maybe too much patience there for Olympiacos, and Vasilis Spanoulis is telling AC Law that he should have taken on the isolation play on the wing against the big man. He just was not aware of the shot clock, I think.
CSKA looking for some comeback boost. They go in the corner to Aaron Jackson. Off the rim, Aaron Jackson into the hands of Diogos Prentices. The rebounding, George, is becoming a factor.
This is
23-17 in favor of Olympiacos.
Huge factor, Frank, because there's only one shot allowed, and that's big. If you consider how big bodies CSKA Moscow has at their disposal, limiting them to only one shot can be very beneficial for Olympiacos, and they have achieved that during the whole game.
Turnover on an illegal screen by Josh Powell of Olympiacos.
That's a rare mistake there by Olympiacos, but if you go back to offense of CSKA Moscow, Frank, I cannot help it, but it is too static. There's not too much motion. Players are not 5 players are involved in the offense.
Teodosic gets surrounded, kicks out to Kriapa. They go back inside the count. Slapped away by Yorgi Shermadini, who's back on the floor. It's Teodosic open. Teodosic missing. Papanikolaou ripping the rebound. As you said, George, only one shot for CSKA, and they're not hitting them yet. Inside to Shermadini. Fouled from behind by Victor Kriapa.
And again, the bread and butter of Olympiacos Piros. It's a high pick and roll right there. Hard roll to the basket. Big target in Giorgi Shermadini, and he is fouled from behind.
Now, you know you're a fan of Giorgi Shermadini, and he's come in this game and done good things for Olympiacos after not sitting the bench but not playing too much. Play by Prentice saves the possession. It's Papanikolaou from deep. He knocks it down, make it 28-45 for Olympiacos. And this is really something that I don't think anybody expected, George.
I did not expect this at all. I mean, CSKA Moscow just came with so much experience and reason to revenge their last year's loss that I am really amazed by the development of the game.
Almost another steal by Shermadini. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's just like CSKA's ball movement is non-existent. Let's see if it's because of their miscues, as we've seen. But there's Papanikolaou draining a three-pointer. He was hardly heard from in the first half. And there's Giorgi Shermadini, another hustle play for Olympiacos, even though the ball goes back to CSKA. It's Sonny Weems driving. It's Papanikolaou challenging him. It'll be Sonny Weems going to the free throw line. But two defenders there saying, you're getting nothing easy tonight.
There's nothing easy for CSKA Moscow, Frank. And I'm sorry, it's almost starting to sound like a cliche for Final Four, but who wants it more is more successful. That's been the rule right now. Look at that. I mean, Sonny Weems is taking aggressive drive to the basket, but he's immediately challenged not by one defender, not by two defenders, but by three defenders.
And if we've seen that again and again in this game. Olympiacos defenders surrounding CSKA players, but also when CSKA players surround Olympiacos rebounders, for example, it's the Olympiacos guy who gets the basket. CSKA gets 2 points at the free throw line by Sonny Weems. They want a lot more than that, however. Let's see what they can do to at least stop Olympiacos to try to get back in this game. Spanoulis goes in the corner. AC Law goes baseline, 8 on the shot clock. Gets it to Papanikolaou, swings to Spanoulis, 5 seconds left. He gets in the lane, almost finishes. Papanikolaou, tip in, misses, and Sasha Count comes down with the rebound.
But again, great recognition. There was a mismatch. Spanoulis on Kriapa, he took advantage of that, and it was the ideal situation for Papanikolaou to score. He just missed an easy tip-in.
Near steal for Papanikolaou on another pass that almost didn't make it to the CSKA player. They get the ball back, but that's the last two possessions in a row. CSKA having trouble just completing passes.
And I think that Olympiacos is just playing with so much joy that it's been fun to watch basketball.
Sasha Count inside, almost stolen by AC Law.
Frank, that's active hands. Really active hands for Olympiacos defenders. They don't give anything to CSKA on the inside. I mean, you better protect the ball if you're a CSKA player on the basket.
Referee right on top of it. CSKA will inbound again. It's going to be Teodosic from deep, off the mark. An 0-4 night still for Milos Teodosic.
He had to shoot that one, Frank. It was only 3 seconds left on the shot clock, so he had to launch it. But it's been a very difficult night for Milos Teodosic.
But he had a good look, and he could have made it. Not that time. Shermadini throws the ball away on the pass inside to Printezis.
He was throwing it to a player 2'17", Frank, I think that time. He just threw it to a different floor.
Halfway through the third quarter, Olympiacos up 30-45. They've been up by as many as 17 in this quarter after making their first half move into double-digit lead territory. They are just giving a lesson so far in this game to CSKA Moscow. But let's remind our fans, it was the other way around in last year's final. And it was Olympiacos making up a 19-point difference with 12 minutes left to give us one of the greatest games ever. So you can't count anybody out in the Final Four.
Expect the unexpected, Frank, in Final Four, and thank you for the great lesson in history. I mean, I'm not discounting CSKA at all, and it will be interesting to see what Theo Papaloukas does when he checks back in the second half, because he had a very difficult first half.
Papaloukas to Weems going against Spanoulis, spinning, gets slapped by Spanoulis. Let's see if it's on the floor or 2 free throws.
I think the referee is calling the two free throws. Look at right there. That's an isolation. Sonny Weems is one of the best in the league in that. And on the turnaround, he is slapped down. His hand is slapped down by Vasilis Spanoulis, and that will be his third foul, I believe, and the fourth team foul for Olympiacos.
Rare mistake by Spanoulis because he had Jurgi Shermanini behind him, who could have challenged the shot and is a shot blocker. So instead, he has 3 fouls.
And he has to be protected. He goes back to the bench, and that's a good move by Coach Bartzokas, because you still have 15 minutes and 27 seconds to play in the game. You must protect your leader.
Kostas Slukas comes in to replace Spanoulis, while Sonny Weems goes to the free throw line, makes both of his free throws, gets it to 32. CSKA 45, Olympiacos. He's up to 12 points, Sonny Weems, except for 9 by Kriapa. Nobody joining the CSKA scorers. Kostas Slukas fires for 3, misses, and it's Weems with the rebound. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. CSKA trying to put something together.
And I think these are the most important moments of the game for CSKA. I can feel the momentum changing a little bit.
Mitsov from deep, misses. Rebound off the hands of Yorgos Printezis. It will remain CSKA ball. This is about the 4th time in this third quarter, George Zidek, that we saw CSKA get second chances or balls knocked out of bounds. They haven't done it too much with their extra opportunities. Let's see after this timeout if they are able to do that. It's 32-45 on the floor at the O2 in London in the first semifinal of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague game of the week. And if you aren't lucky enough to be in London for the Final Four, you have your own representative here in the eye of the fan, courtesy of Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. First, we're looking at this three-pointer by Kostas Slukas, who shot that in the first half. They came out a little poor from the three-point line, but started picking it up with a lot of kick-out passes like this. There's Pedro Antic, who hit his in the first half as well. The last one here by Kostas Papanikolaou gave Olympiacos their biggest lead of 17 points. But they're only 3 for 11 from downtown, Olympiacos, and still leading by as many as 13. If you aren't lucky enough to be in London for the Final Four, you have your own representative here in Eye of the Fan, courtesy of Turkish Airlines. Go to www.eyeofthefan.com and see everything that our courtside fan sees in the games and around London this week. He's got the camera on his forehead. He's going to all the places where not only games but fan activities and Legends games like we had today at Trafalgar Square going on all this weekend in London, and you can follow it yourself at www.theeyeofthefan.com from Turkish Airlines. We're getting ready for third quarter action to resume in London, and as we said so far, it has been Olympians with double-digit leads since the middle of the first quarter, just doing everything right, while a lot of things have gone wrong for CSKA, George Zidek, but they seem to be maybe discovering themselves a bit now.
Well, I think this will be a crucial period for Olympiacos. They have their leader, Spanoulis, on the bench, and right now it's an unsportsmanlike foul. This is going to be a very important moment of the game, Frank.
Unsportsmanlike foul on Jurgi Shermanini as CSKA got the inside position that they're used to, and you see right there, Jurgi Shermanini didn't go for the ball. Yep. He pulled the shoulder of Sasha Kaun, put him on the free throw line. So it'll be 2 free throws for him, and then the ball back to CSKA Moscow.
This will be really interesting to see how long Vasilis Spanoulis stays on the bench. I think right now he will be the most needed.
Kyle Hines, you see, coming back on the floor for Olympiacos, replacing Shermadini. So the defending champions just trying to hold on to their third quarter lead of 13 points. It looks like there's some discussion about whether to see a replay about whether or not that dunk attempt by Sasha Kaun was also goaltended when Kostas Papanikolaou followed the foul with a block. Looked like a block, but they're going to check it to make sure. And that is what the pause on the floor at the O2 in London is about. As we said, halfway through the third quarter, this is our first semifinal in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. And the referees have decided there was no goaltending, so the score remains the same. Sasha Kahn goes to the free throw line, where he's only a 51% free throw shooter this year, but he gets the first of 2 in.
Many things are going unexpectedly, Frank. I mean, Sasha Kahn, you said he's 50% free throw shooter. He struggles usually at the line, but he makes a very important first free throw.
Well, even if he only hits 50% and he hit both of them, that's a lot better than they did in the first half when they went 2 for 8 to start the game.
And look at that. I mean, you have only 11-point lead for Olympiacos Piraeus, and now ΤΣΣΚΑ has a chance to cut it into single digits. Let's see what Theo Papaloukas think about. Going inside again. Oh, great defensive play there by Kyle Hines. That was a terrible passing angle though for the pass from the top of the key.
Kyle Hines with the steal. Olympiacos with the ball. It's Slukas on the wing. The Printezis gets it back to Slukas. Screens for him. Mismatch. Slukas on Kriapa. It's going to be Kyle Hines shooting from the upper foul line. He puts it down over a big man. So big basket at that moment for Olympiacos. They were a little unsteady on offense for a couple minutes.
And this is not a typical position for Kyle Hines to be shooting a long three. He usually operates around the basket. That's where he's the most effective.
CSKA looking inside for Kriap on the mismatch. It's going to be Mitsov driving, missing. But Sasha Kahn ripping the offensive boards.
I mean, he is really working for ΤΣΣΚΑ Moscow. A lot. Hats off for Sasha Kahn the way he's playing.
Mitsov kicks to Kahn, to Kriapa, sorry. And as he makes his move, he gets fouled by Yorgos Printezis.
A smart play there by Kriapa. He fakes out Printezis. He leaves his feet for a split second, and he immediately takes advantage of that. Look at that right here. Nice pump fake. You have to respect the shot of Victor Kriapa. He goes to the basket and is fouled on the drive. So 2 free throws. But he missed a lot of free throws there, Frank. We said 82% free throw shooter for the season. I think he missed 4 in the first half.
Makes the first of 2 this time. As we said, CSKA had a rough time on the free throw line in the first half. But they're getting back to the free throw line and hitting more shots now. This is as close as they've been in the last 6 minutes. 36-47. Remember, they're down by as many as 17. Olympiacos moving the ball to AC Law. 11 on the shot clock. And a foul in the post as Printezis goes down instead of receiving the pass. The foul's called on Sonny Weems of CSKA Moscow.
Frank, if I'm Coach Ettore Messina, I don't care. Because there was aggressiveness on that play. Look at that right here. I mean, this is fighting for the possession. You're trying to push your opposing player out as much as you can. This is aggressiveness. They are taking some kind of activity. This is what Olympiacos was successful with in the first quarter. I mean, the first half.
But again, you saw the arm go around and the foul called. And Vasil Spanoulis get back in the game for Olympiacos. Remember, he has 3 fouls. He's hard guarded by Weems. Ball swings to Slukas. He goes around Kyle Hines, tries to go back to him. Papaloukas tips the ball about a good defense, but Victor Kriapa can't make the save. CSKA's defense.
It's picking up. It's picking up, Frank. For sure. I mean, the intensity is up. And I think this is the call of urgency. I mean, now they have only 2 seconds to shoot on the shot clock, so that's why Coach Bartokas is taking a timeout to set up an important shot.
So with 2 seconds on the shot clock, 3 and a bit left in the third quarter, CSKA trying to chip away. They've taken 6 points off the Olympiacos lead. 36-47 it is now. And if they can defend for these 2 seconds, George, they would have a chance to get it on back to single digits, which would be a huge accomplishment, the biggest one since the early going in this game.
Psychologically, it would be a very important accomplishment, and I think that we have seen both teams are having a difficult time scoring, but Olympiacos is not executing so fluidly like they were in the first half.
You can see in that timeout by Anthony Messina a little more action, a little more belief in themselves than we saw at halftime when this team didn't walk down with heads down, but trying to figure out this Olympiacos team.
I think he's smelling a chance right now. I mean, he's the great leader. He's been through some tough games. We said it before. This is his 10th Final Four, and he has won all 9 semifinals before, so Ettore Messina is ready.
And as we saw in the graphic, this 6-2 run has happened with Teo Papaloukas in the game. Of course, he's in his 9th Final Four, so everybody knows how to come back in a game like this. It's him. Look at the pass from Spanoulis to Printezis. Doesn't go. Printezis is disappointed because he got a decent look.
Very good look
on
for
the
him.
Inbound play. But ΤΣΣΚΑ with a chance to get the difference down to single digits. Papaloukas out top, playing with Kirstic. He's going to take a three-pointer off the mark for Papaloukas, and the rebound by Kyle Hines.
That would have been a huge shot if Teo Papaloukas would have connected on that one. It would have been down to 8. Now they have to defend again.
Spanoulis out top, 2:40 to play in the third quarter. Going inside to a crowd of defenders. It's Kriapa that takes it away. Here comes ΤΣΣΚΑ with another chance.
That's a rare mistake there by Spanoulis. He's dead. He's deadly on those passes from off the pick and roll.
Mitov to Sonny Weems with the ball. Playing with Kirstic. Weems 7 on the shot clock. Dancing. Goes to Kriapa, the fake. Back to Weems. He gets it off the three-pointer. And look who comes up with the rebound. Vasilis Spanoulis. The rebounding is still in favor of Olympiacos by 6, 22-28. They're doing that job against a bigger team.
And Frank, it will be interesting for me if ΤΣΣΚΑ Moscow will try to isolate a player who's being defended by Vasilis Spanoulis, because he's got 3 fouls, and I mean it is absolutely crucial for Olympiacos for him to stay on the floor.
Stratos Papadoglou in the game for Olympiacos as the ball was kicked and they get it back. Spanoulis playing with Kyle Hines out top. Swings to Printezis. He's going to drive this time, and his pass sails out of bounds. Miscommunication. We've seen both teams now do this a couple times. It's rare, it's unusual, George, and I don't really know why they would be miscommunicating this late in the season.
And there wasn't, again, so much pressure on the drive. Printezis had fairly open view to the basket. I mean, the path was open. Nobody was really pressuring him, and he just missed Kostas Lukas, who was moving towards the corner.
And was wide open and missed an opportunity to shoot a wide open three-pointer. Here's Weems on the other inside to Kriapa, to Kirstic, misses. And Kyle Hines steals the offensive rebound, George. That is what we're talking about. Mental toughness of this Olympiacos team. Just stole it off of Nenad Kirstic.
And this is a message for Nenad Kirstic. He's going to have only one chance to shoot it, Frank. And he better makes it, because he's not getting any second chances.
Spanoulis to Printezis, to Slukas, back to Spanoulis. It's going to be Slukas. Almost gives it up. Spanoulis came up with a slow pass and drew a foul on Kirstic. So this is a very tense moment in this game. If ΤΣΣΚΑ cannot continue this comeback, you are going to see Olympiacos start to regain some measure of confidence. But we'll remind our viewers, there was this point last year when Olympiacos started his comeback from 19 down to win the Euroleague title. So plenty of time and a little bit of precedent between these two teams. As Papadoglou turn around, missing. Kyle Hines steals it and puts it back down. Huge basket, makes it 36-49. And unbelievable that he's able to do that against his big man of ΤΣΣΚΑ.
Exactly. I mean, the size advantage is on the side of ΤΣΣΚΑ.
Kriapa from deep, off the mark. Spanoulis with the rebound. Another defensive rebound.
Another defensive rebound, but a good look at the basket for Kriapa.
Spanoulis with the ball. And a chance to re-up this lead with 38 seconds left in the third quarter.
He's not rushing anything.
will get some time, even if it's going to be Pedo Antic wide open. Pedo Antic hitting a shot, making 36-52. The lead is back to 16. And the defense of Olympiacos has done the job until now, but the big shots have helped Olympiacos into this lead. There's 13 seconds left. Papaloukas out top. Kicks to the corner. Weems tries to do it himself. Gets it to Kirstic. Foul from behind. Looks like it was Papadoglou against Kirstic. That will put him on the free throw line. Oh, what a turn of events
But Frank, I'm just amazed at the defensive intensity of Olympiacos. Did you see that after receiving the ball? Look at that right here. Just three players collapsing on Nenad Krstic. I mean, he had to fight for his life right there under the basket.
So there you saw Krstic getting bumped around by both Stratos Papadoglou and Pero Antic.
I mean, Frank, you agree with me that, I mean, the concentration on defense for Olympiacos has been just unbelievable.
And of course, they lose nothing by fouling either, because CSKA Moscow is shooting just 61% before that miss by Nenad Krstic. Not like they're putting him on the foul line on purpose too much, but they just prevented 2 points by fouling Nenad Krstic, a short 2 points.
That was a turnover.
Oh, it looks like a foul called on Teo Papaloukas.
I thought that the referee was signaling that the Spanoulis stepped on. Let's see the replay right there. Yep, no. It was a clear foul by Papaloukas. They still have a foul to give. That's understandable why he was going so now fouling. Now we have 1 second only to go.
Spanoulis won in an unsportsmanlike call, but it's 1.1 second. Ball goes into Antic, and he gets fouled by Papaloukas, so they will get a chance to, it would match or surpass the highest lead of the game if Pero Antic, with 0.2 of a second left, can hit 1 or 2 of his free throws. It just looks like Olympiacos has had the ability to get something out of almost everything they've done tonight. At the same time, at the other end of the floor, frustrating CSKA on getting any rhythm at all.
And Frank, I would add that this was a chance for CSKA to do anything to come back to the game, because I thought that for 3-4 minutes Olympiacos was kind of stumbling on offense. And amazing stats is only 36 points after 30 minutes play for CSKA Moscow. That's unheard of in the whole season, I think.
Olympiacos matches its high lead and heads into the fourth quarter with a 36-53 lead. They are on a hunt for back-to-back titles. They are in the driver's seat in the first semifinal of tonight's Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. And as we wait for fourth quarter action, have a look at our focus on
online dating again.
It's 2013, Grandma. Deal with it.
He's reeling one in.
She thinks I'm funny, but she's not sure about my photo.
Yeah, it's a bit fun, Dad. Quick, swap it for this one before she bails.
Just keep her smiling.
Not the cheese joke.
How do I feel about electrophobia? Fear of chickens is rare, but...
She means the band, mate.
Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. And as we wait for fourth quarter action, have a look at our focus on
online dating again.
It's 2013, Grandma. Deal with it.
He's reeling one in.
She thinks I'm funny, but she's not sure about my photo.
Yeah, it's a bit fun, Dad. Quick, swap it for this one before she bails.
Just keep her smiling.
Not the cheese joke.
How do I feel about electrophobia? Fear of chickens is rare, but...
She means the band, mate. Tell her you got tickets to see him on Friday.
Have I?
You do now.
I've got a date.
8 times faster fibre optic broadband. Infinity, only from BT.
The new KFC Streetwise All-Stars. A tasty barbecue or flaming wrap, popcorn, chicken and fries, all for $2.99. It's the ultimate lineup.
Teo Papaloukas, two-time Euroleague winner, former MVP, but he and his CSKA Moscow team have their work cut out for them if they have any hopes of reaching a final. They're down 36-53 here at the start of the fourth quarter. Get this, Georgina, 17 points in the first quarter for CSKA, 11 in the second, 8 in the third. They're going downhill.
Unbelievable. I mean, this is just unexpected.
Andrei Vorontsevich in the game for CSKA. Gets it to Sonny Weems. Another miss by Weems. Another rebound by Olympiacos. And the small guys are just out hustling the big guys.
But I mean, do you see how they cleared the space around the basket? There's absolutely nothing for the offensive rebounders of CSKA to get, Frank. This is fundamental basketball. Great boxing out.
Ball swings to Slukas. He'll try a three-pointer and miss. Kyle Hines all over it, but he steps out of bounds trying to save offensive rebound.
Frank, I think that when you talk about low scoring for CSKA, maybe season low scoring for CSKA after 3 quarters, it is clear to me why it's happening. 31% shooting from the 2. For the season, they are shooting 56.6. I mean, the story is right there in the stat sheet.
And what about this, George Zidek? Already in the fourth quarter, timeout on the floor. 21 left in the semifinal. CSKA Moscow tries to figure out what they could possibly do to make up a 17-point difference. And they might, like I said, George, reference what Olympiacos did to them in a similar situation last season. If you aren't lucky enough to be in London for the Final Four, you have your own representative here in the Eye of the Fan, courtesy of Turkish Airlines. You need to go to www.theeyeofthefan.com and see everything that our courtside super fan sees in these games and around London all weekend long. He'll be going around with a camera on his head, tweeting and so on and so forth, just to give you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the Final Four. The eyeofthefan.com is where you can get a front row seat yourself if you're not in London. And there we see Kyle Hines coming out of timeout for Olympiacos. He has done the dirty work in this game so far for Olympiacos. Early on, he came off the bench. He's their leading scorer with 11 points. But he's also got 8 rebounds in just 13 minutes on the floor. 3 of them on the offensive end, Kyle Hines. 4 for 8, shooting only 2-pointers. And he's just doing a job up and down. There are no blocks for them. But we have seen Kyle Hines be a force as the top scorer in this game while being a force on defense as well. There's some of Kyle Hines' efforts. Offensive rebound between 4 CSKA defenders. A very key moment in this game. Fourth quarter action continues as Kirstich gets in the lane, surrounded and fouled. Let's see if he's getting a shot off or not when that happened.
Well, that's been the story of the game. Immediately after receiving the ball anywhere close to the basket, then Kirstich is just swarmed by defenders. Every time he gets double team or even triple team.
And at Kirstich misses another free throw. CSKA Moscow is now 11 for 21 at the free throw line. Not that the free throws would save them in this game, but they need them at this point. Make it 11 for 22, George Zidek. You have to wonder about CSKA's concentration if they've been unable to run their offense and can't shoot free throws.
Or maybe it was spoken before the game. They are thinking too much about last year's final, Frank. They haven't pushed it out of their heads.
Perpetoglu makes it the biggest lead of the game. 19 points for Olympiacos with an up and under move. Unbelievable. CSKA, another thing, has just 6 assists in this game. They led the Euroleague with 17.9. They can do nothing against the Olympiacos defense. Teodosic in the lane to Andrei Vorontsevich. He's going to drive. His shot is bothered. It's Aaron Jackson with a rebound, but without the ball hitting the rim, making a turnover for CSKA Moscow. Nothing going right. The champions so far in this game are proving why they deserve that title until somebody takes it away.
They are taking care of business, and I mean, if so much was talked about, they are the underdog before the game. And you know what, all the players and Coach Barzoka say, hey, we don't care. We take that as extra motivation to work harder, to prepare harder.
This time it is Olympiacos up 19. Last year it was that, make it 21 as Kyle Hines takes it to the rim. And it is getting to be a runaway with 8 minutes left by the defending champions Olympiacos. Didn't hear anybody, even Olympiacos fans, talking about anything like this in all the run-up to this game as Milos Teodosic gets fouled by Kyle Hines.
But Frank, I mean, considering
0 points so far for Milos Teodosic in 23 minutes on the floor and just 1 assist. It's just that Olympiacos has taken most of the CSKA team completely out of their game.
Completely, and Milos Teodosic, we spoke about him before the game. He was supposed to be one of the keys. He just scored his first point of the game from the free throw line. He was supposed to be the key for offense of CSKA Moscow, so he has been taken completely out of his game by the defense of Olympiacos Piraeus. One important thing for me, Frank, do you see any celebration or any kind of change in the body language of Olympiacos? I don't. Even though they are up 20 points with 8 minutes to go in the game, I think this team is on a mission, Frank. They are very focused.
We talked about it. They talked about it. Even Anthony Messina CSKA talked about the mental toughness of Olympiacos. Here's Georgi Shermadini. His shot rolls out, but it's still a 19-point lead as Aaron Jackson shows some speed getting to the hoop. Vasilis Spanoulis trying to avoid his 4th foul. Gets out of the way. But the difference now down to 17 with 7:30 to play. As we said, we've seen similar comebacks between these two teams. Can't discount anything, but Spanoulis is really directing and guiding his team. Here's Stratos Papanikolaou with a 3-pointer. A 20-point lead with 7:13 to play, George. And as much as we can't discount a CSKA comeback because of what happened last year, have you seen any signs of CSKA getting ready to at least make a run?
Right now, after that 3-pointer, I think they just took a lot of air out of CSKA Moscow, that 3-pointer by Peperoglu.
They're standing around. Here's Vorontsevich off the backboard. But if anybody told you that Andrei Vorontsevich would be the go-to guy in a tough situation, you wouldn't have believed it. Look at him. He's hustling there. Gets the steal. Gets it to Teodosic. Teodosic kicks to Jackson. Goes to the rim. Gets fouled by Shermadini and will go to the free throw line. 6:35 to play. A lot of points to make up. Some of the guys you wouldn't expect to be on the floor for CSKA. Vorontsevich, Aaron Jackson, as you see here on the replay. Taking it to the rim, challenging people. At least he did that a little bit in the first quarter as well because he was the starter tonight. But they're not the guys you usually expect to pick up CSKA. 42-60. They're down with 6:30 to play. A much bigger mountain to climb than Olympiacos had last year. But nothing's impossible in the Final Four.
Nothing is impossible, but if I look at the body language and the energy and the self-belief of CSKA Moscow, I think the heads are starting to go down. I don't know, Frank. I mean, we said anything is possible in a one-game scenario.
Let's see if we can hear a little Anthony Messina at the timeout. Difficult for us with the show going on at halftime.
I see a lot of frustration on the face of Milos Teodosic.
Now you get the corner and you go one-on-one, okay? So you come down, confront from the top. So they will run to the corner. As soon as they run to the corner, you can drive. You're a shooter, you're laying.
They're talking about basic play run, and they're trying to figure out this Olympiacos defense with only 6:35 left in the game.
I mean, Anthony Messina was asking his players just to go back to the basics, isolate somebody one-on-one in the corner, and let him go. Just try to create out of something because, Frank, I mean, these players have not forgotten how to play basketball. I mean, they are great basketball players.
We got Jackson, Teodosic, Mitsov, Kaun, and Vorontsevich out here to try to save the game for CSKA Moscow. Let's remind you that man Anthony Messina on the bench has never lost a semifinal in his career. 9-0 coming in this game. And an amazing, amazing performance by Olympiacos has that streak in danger as well. As Aaron Jackson hits the first free throw, knocks down the second as well. Now 16 points with 6:35 to play. Here's the pressure on AC Law. Gets it to Vasilis Spanoulis, trying to get across half court. They do in time. Ball swings, they pull it back out to Peperoglu.
They're not rushing anywhere. That's a smart play by Peperoglu.
Peperoglu is good post-up player. Post-up goes to Georgi Shermadini for the basket. Basic basketball, as you said, Georgina.
And you have to respect Peperoglu, Frank. I mean, did you see the presence of mind? I mean, he was just backing down his defender and it made a beautiful pass.
Jackson coming down and firing up a three-pointer off the front of the rim. that doesn't go, a little bit of desperation on the part of CSKA.
But Frank, I have to go more on Peperoglu because Kostas Papanikolaou, one of the Rising Star Trophy winner, he picked up 2 early fouls. He has not had the best game like he has in the season. And Peperoglu just steps in and he has a perfect game, Frank. He exactly plays his role.
Olympiacos breaks the pressure again, but they only have 8 on the shot clock. They go to Spanoulis on Teodosic. Teodosic stops him. Spanoulis takes a shot off the front of the rim, but nice defense by Teodosic.
It was good at the Olympiacos that they took 24 seconds off the clock again.
It's going to be Teodosic from deep. He hits his first 3-pointer of the game, and he can certainly fill it up when he gets hot. Difference down to 15. Still more than 5 minutes left. Pressure broken again by Olympiacos. They pull it out. The veteran Pedo Antic decide not to try a 2-on-1 with the big men. It'll be AC Law out top. Driving himself. Denton blocked by Teodosic, but the ball went out of bounds. Inspired play there on defense by Teodosic, but the ball remains with Olympiacos.
I think now a balance must be found by Olympiacos. Look at it right here. That's a great defensive play by Milos Teodosic, who just made a 3-pointer on the other side. Frank, in my experience, you know what's the most dangerous thing in basketball? Protecting a victory. Protecting a victory. If you are too careful, it can bite you.
Well, let's see if that's the case with Olympiacos. They have just controlled this game since at least the start of the second quarter. Double-digit leads almost the whole way. Here's Spanoulis. His shot misses, so a few misses in a row for Olympiacos has given CSKA a chance. Teodosic double team, gets it to Diop. Ball swings to Jackson. And a steal by Kyle Hines as Jackson looked for the backdoor pass. Almost too little time for CSKA to afford such mistakes.
That's a very costly mistake right there.
14 turnovers for the team that led the league in the fewest this season, CSKA Moscow. Spanoulis to Antic from deep, off the back of the rim. An offensive rebound by a guard, AC Law.
That was a long rebound right there, and AC Law was in the right position. Over the head of Milos Teodosic, who's a taller player. Post up by Peperoglu.
Peperoglu in the corner, goes inside to Hines. Around Kahn, can't get the shot to fall, however. So it stays at 15, but we're under 4 minutes now. Teodosic is going to launch it. Off the backboard, misses. Rebound is loose. And it's in the hands of Pedo Antic. The defending champions, Olympiacos. A lesson in mental toughness and great defense so far. There are 3.5 minutes left from going back to the Final Four and attempting the first repeat since Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv in 2004 and 2005. And we have an argument on the floor between Milos Teodosic and Pedo Antic.
I think it was a little elbow to the stomach of Pedo Antic. Look at that right there. And there's a little talk. I mean, it's under control. Both of the players are mature players, and there's no escalation right there, which is good for the game. But Frank, I mean, you spoke about less than in. It was a little elbow of Milos Teodosic. He was getting through the screen with the elbow. Of course, Pedo Antic doesn't like that. I think, Frank, it's been a lesson in team basketball. It's been a true lesson in team basketball.
Another in a series of mistakes for CSKA. An unsportsmanlike foul. Antic hits the first of his 2 free throws, gets the lead back to 16.
I think that every player that started or came off the bench for Olympiacos Piraeus has done his thing, Frank. It doesn't matter if it was scoring, if it was defending, if it was deflecting the balls, if it was getting the rebounds or anything. Each player played a perfect game. Do you agree with me?
I didn't see anybody who was down. Only Papanikolaou didn't get on the floor much because of his fouls, but when he did, he contributed. Spanoulis with the ball, 3:20 to play, 17-point lead. Slukas gets a screen from Hines, 7 on the shot clock. They're winding it down. Ball tipped by Kriapa. Slukas to Antic for the 3, off the mark and into the hands of Vladimir Mitsov.
Again, a very long offense there for Olympiacos. This really goes well with their game plan.
Pero Antic with the foul. I'm thinking back right now to the semifinal. Everybody talks about the final, but Barcelona came in as a big favorite against Olympiacos, and they just took Barcelona out of their game. I think Barcelona led for 2 seconds in the second quarter. Otherwise, it was all Olympiacos. They know how to command a lead, and they're doing it right here.
And again, it's a low-scoring game, Frank. If you look at the scoreboard, it's 47-64. So again, Olympiacos does it in a low-scoring affair.
Foul on Kyle Hines. We see it here. Sasha Cowan spins on the baseline. But as we said before, even though Sasha Cowan is 2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight, he's 50% for the season. So you will find Olympiacos fouling him instead of letting him dunk.
And that's been the message that was sent to CSKA players the whole game, Frank. I mean, you will have to earn the points. And it's unselfish basketball to me too. I mean, Olympiacos is giving up their fouls. The players sacrifice the fouls for the good of the team. That's what we've seen the whole game.
Down 1 for 2 makes it 48-64. Almost impossible for CSKA now, especially the way CSKA has been playing, completely under control. Complete team basketball, doing all the basics correctly. Spanoulis to Hines in the corner. Papadoglou fakes, goes inside. It's going to be Spanoulis open for 3. In and out, and the rebound goes to Olympiacos. They have just been the hustlers. They have been the team that wants it more. CSKA came out flat. They came out looking good, at least Weems and Kriapa.
First 3-4 minutes, Frank, I agree.
3 or 4 minutes, but after that, it's just been so flat that they've been unable to deal with this Olympiacos team. 2 minutes left now. Foul on Aaron Jackson. It's almost impossible. Well, it's impossible now. And one reason is, even though Spanoulis has not been his usual self with just 6 points and 4 assists, would you want the ball in the hands of anybody else in the world with a lead like this?
He's a great player. I mean, he will do what's necessary for the team. I mean, he will be the leader by example. He has been distributing the ball, and he's been running most of the plays on the pick and roll, Frank.
Foul here as Papadoglou puts on the nice fake and gets... Mitsov had taken a chance trying to steal from Spanoulis, got back late and got the foul, putting Papadoglou on the free throw line. As you see, George, with a couple free throws, he becomes their third leading scorer in this game, Papadoglou. Another thing that shows how deep they go and how difficult it is to talk about stars on this team because they share it.
He's a smart basketball player, and he really showed it in the game tonight. He's got 8 points in 19 minutes, but so many smart plays that this Greek player has been made. It's been just astonishing. I mean, he came in for Papanikolaou, who had foul trouble too early.
Weems inside. Travel. No, let's see what the call is exactly. Somebody must have touched him. But George, one thing I wanted to say was, as astonishing as Olympiacos' comeback from 19 down to win with 2 seconds left, the title last year was, in a very slower sort of way, this is astonishing.
Very astonishing.
That they have manhandled one of the best teams in the Euroleague almost without pause since the middle of the first quarter.
And right now, it's Sonny Weems missing his first free throw. Even if he makes his second one with a minute and a half to go in the game, CSKA Moscow has not reached 50 points yet. It is unbelievable and completely unexpected.
Papadoglou crosses half court, 1:30 to play. It's all Olympiacos. CSKA does not have any recourse here. They can only keep fouling, and that might not make up 16 points anyway. They're not even choosing to do that. And Spanoulis to the rim. Finishing touches by the MVP of the EuroLeague this season, Vasilis Spanoulis, leading his team. We said in our video feature they had a stat for leadership. He might be the world record holder. Missed by Cowan. Rebound by Kyle Hines, still with a 18-point lead now, and under a minute left, out hustling the other team.
Absolutely, Frank. Hustling till the end. 40 minutes of hustle, dedication, and just putting out your heart on the floor. That's what the players and coach was talking about.
He doesn't know any other way. CSKA Moscow doesn't know any other way. Vasilis Spanoulis goes off the floor to a rousing ovation from the Olympiacos fans. He has put them in the final again. The first team with a chance to win 2 in a row in the Euroleague. As we said, since 2005 with CSKA Moscow, but only 3 teams in the Final Four era since 1988. Only 2 teams have done it. Olympiacos is going to have a chance as they go to their third final in 4 years. AC Law, Lucas, another finishing touch, in and out. Penalty, they're stealing everything. They're going to take the rims home with them, but I think they'll wait till Sunday to try to do that because they're not letting CSKA Moscow play basketball tonight.
I mean, they completely shut them down and took them out of the element.
Mitsov with a token three-pointer gets him over 50 points, but that is almost an insult to CSKA Moscow to go over 50 points, be their goal at the end of a game. It's a 17-point lead. The time is running out, and we have a chance for a repeat in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague final as Olympiacos puts on a virtuoso performance to defeat CSKA Moscow 52-69 and advance to Sunday's final against either FC Barcelona Regal or Real Madrid, who are coming up in our next semifinal in a little while. But right now, it is all about the defending champions just owning the floor in the first semifinal of Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
A completely deserving victory by Olympiacos Piros. They ruled the floor for 37 minutes completely after fairly good 3 to 4 minutes of CSKA Moscow. It's been a one-sided story for Olympiacos and a deserving 17-point victory in the first semifinal of today.
And George Zidak, look at this. Kyle Hines coming off the bench for 13 points. Pedro Antic coming off the bench for 13 points. Kyle Hines with a double-double. Antic, Purpuroglu with 8. These are third leading scorers. They did it without their starters. They did it with the depth that they have and the mental toughness that we talked about from the start.
It's all about heart. Who wants it more wins in Final Four, and that's been the story again today. Frank, look at the rebounding edge. It was talked so much about, and Olympiacos wins the war on the boards by 12. 41 rebounds to 29 of CSKA. That's a huge surprise and an edge.
It's a 52-69 victory for Olympiacos in tonight's first semifinal at the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. Let's have a look. First of all, in our post-game program, it's a play of the game presented by Intersport. And this happened late in the game with things already under control. Spanoulis crosses over, drives in alone to the basket to drop down a pretty layup. As George Zidak said all game, the basics were dominated by Olympiacos. They saw one of the basic plays in the EuroLeague, the MVP of the season. Vasilis Spanoulis with the crossover and the layup, putting the finishing touches on the victory that gets his team to Sunday's final and a chance to repeat as champions. George Zidak, 2 years ago, nobody would have told you that if Olympiacos would have a chance to be a repeat EuroLeague champion.
And I think that they've enjoyed the role, Frank. I mean, they have said, they accepted, they come in as an underdog, and they took the most advantage out of it.
Now we'll have a look at who was our player of the game in tonight's first semifinal in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. And as we said, Kyle Hines came off the bench and just ruled the paint. There he was, ripping a rebound between four CSKA defenders. And that's what he did all night. He spent less than 20 minutes on the floor and had 10 rebounds. But what rebounds in a crowd undersized, as he led his team to a 29-41 rebound advantage. But Kyle Hines also did it on offense with 13 points, driving, hitting some shots. He didn't dunk tonight, and you normally see him doing a lot of that, so he showed his game all around, and he is our player of the game, finishing with 13 points, 5 for 10, 2-point shooting, 3 for 3 at the free throw line, 10 rebounds, a double-double in the semifinal, 2 steals, and a performance index rating of 16 for our player of the game. Kyle Hines of Olympiacos Piraeus, sending his team to Sunday's final to try to repeat the title. We have a chance to talk with Kyle Hines about this big accomplishment, so let's hear what he has to say post-game.
I wish I knew, man. I wish I